Hello to all of you, inaugural members of the Appellate Project and future members of the Appellate Bar.
And I want to extend the warmest possible welcome to all of you. Thank you so much for joining us.
When I was a law student at Howard University, I knew that I wanted to work in the public interest.
I had never heard the term appellate litigation when I arrived at law school.
Although I'd heard of the U.S. Supreme Court, I didn't know what district courts and courts of appeals were.
I went to law school to try to change Alaska. I advocated on behalf of Alaska Native tribes and Native people. And it wasn't long before I found myself practicing in the appellate field.
When you win a case in an appellate court, not only have you served your client, but you've set a precedent that may help many other people.
Being an appellate lawyer gives you a role in helping to shape the law that governs nearly every aspect of our lives.
I enjoy appellate work because it allows me to make novel, unique arguments to push the law forward, especially where it concerns race equity.
You can make a difference beyond serving your client.
You can literally participate in the shaping of history.
It is such a rewarding profession.
And I believe that being an appellate litigator is just the best way to practice law.
The Appellate Project is a project that is focused on connecting minority law students with appellate practitioners for the purposes of diversifying our federal courts. Why is this important?
Appellate courts around the country every day issue opinions and decisions that affect the lives of millions of people.
I clerked on the DC Circuit and the Supreme Court at the time both courts were hearing Shelby County v. Holder, a challenge to the pre-clearance provisions of the Voting Rights Act of 1965, when the court ultimately voted to reverse and effectively nullify those provisions. That was an incredibly important and impactful decision for voting rights in the South, and in particular for Black and Latino communities. But the striking thing to me as a law clerk was that there was one other Latino law clerk on the Supreme Court, and there were no Black law clerks.
I represented a client who had been fired on his first day of work after he walked in and his white supervisor saw him, a Black man, standing before him, and he conducted a Google search of him, found an article with his name in it, and fired him on the spot. The first thing that I was able to do in my fellowship was go to the Fourth Circuit for oral argument in this case. And when I got there, I stood before a panel of 3 white men, and my opposing counsel was also a white man. And I was given the opportunity to define implicit bias on the record.
Our firm was fortunate enough to represent the Muskogee Creek Nation in a pair of cases that were argued in front of the Supreme Court.
Lawyers write the rules. And so how we structure our society is largely dependent on the lawyers that advocate for that structure.
I am a big supporter of the Appellate Project because I believe that it's necessary to have a judiciary and have an appellate bar that reflects all peoples.
Our profession is suffering for lack of diversity. It's diminishing the quality of our briefing, of our oral advocacy.
I'm here to tell you that there's not only space for you in the appellate bar, there's a need for you as well.
I'm the first Native American to sit on the Washington State Supreme Court, and as far as I know, only the second Native person to sit on any state Supreme Court in the country. But what matters to me more than being a first is that I not be the last.
Consider how your voice can offer something that's missing in this profession.
Having a voice at tables like the one I now sit at changes the conversation.
When I was in law school, I had a vague, a general idea of the things that I should be doing and the things I needed to do. But I did not have an organization like the Appellate Project that would provide me with the networking opportunities and the necessary guidance and mentorship.
And so let me humbly offer you one piece of advice, and that is work. And what does that mean? To me, it means 3 things. Number 1, work on your writing.
Take as many legal writing courses as you can, and not just the required ones.
Work on pro bono matters, work in a clinical setting in a law school. These types of practical experiences give you confidence, they get you into the courtroom.
I really encourage you to go for it. Our country needs the best and brightest lawyers from every background and every walk of life.
It's really foundational to ensuring that we have a system that all our communities can have faith in, that our judicial system reflect those communities. They don't today, and that's not going to change until people like you consider appellate careers.
If being an appellate lawyer is something that you want to do, please reach out.
We members of the Appellate Bar are here for you.
I look forward to meeting and working with as many of you as possible. Congratulations on making it to law school. Thank you for joining us, and I hope everyone stays safe and strong in this difficult time.
Good luck to all of you.